Alrighty, we're back at it once again. Day, I have no clue. 20? Maybe? Probably right around there, if I had to guess. I mean, it's going to show right there what day it is, to be fair, when I actually go back and look. But I have no clue. I do want to say we're doing back today, and I want to give an update on where I am in the cut. So right now I'm hovering right around that like 170. The lowest I've seen is 176 on the dot. This morning 176 and a half. So 176 is becoming more consistent, so I'm expecting a drop here very shortly on the push down to 170. So that'll be interesting. I don't know how much lower I'll go. 5 more pounds is a lot. That's a lot of weight, and I don't know if I want to go lower than that. And there's a few reasons why. First reason, because I don't want to get to the point where I'm like, oh, now let's get stage lean, right? And then carb back up. Like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to put any more stressors on my body than I currently already have just by going through a cut and working out normally anyways. So I don't want to do that. Secondly, I don't want to get, lean to the point to where, I start losing some muscle there, because you get to the point where it just doesn't matter and you're just going to get too lean, right? I think. I don't know. I'm new to this whole shebang. I hope this lady isn't coming to this car right here. That'd be awkward. All right, we're back. She got in the car. I didn't want to be disrespectful. Anyways, where was I? So, yeah, I don't want to get too lean to where I'm like feeling bad because I'm getting, lower and lower. I'm not trying to get stage lean. 10% I think is fine. Guessing that's where I'm at, right? I hope that's not too loud when I turn that on. But just from those two things, right, I think that's okay. And then on top of it, as you get lower in the cut, I'm finding it more and more difficult to, eat less while also not eating, an excessive amount of protein without getting the carbs in, but then also eating the protein and getting the carbs in, and then also canceling out the fat to a minimum. Like, it becomes hard, and your diet choices become stricter and stricter. Not like I eat that strict anyways, because the last couple of days I've been having a lot of breakfast foods for dinner. Eggs, bacon, some toast. Couple reasons for that. One, people, in my personal opinion, just for me, again, I'm not trying to get stage lean. I can have a little bit of fats here for some nutrients, right? And, specifically, like bread, I'm not scared of bread. Bread's not going to hurt you. Having some butter's not going to hurt you if it's in a small amount. Eggs are awesome. Love them. Have 4 of them. Smack them away real quick. And then some bacon just to get a little bit of different fats and some protein there on the side. And I don't have a lot. It's just kind of for taste as well, just to mix it up. So that's kind of what I've been doing, aside from Chipotle runs constantly, because it's just so easy and I love it. And I get rewards points, but regardless. But as far as the physique goes, this next cleanup on the legs and the chest that I do, I think is going to turn out some wild results. Because it's been about, 3 weeks now? Since the last time? 4 weeks now since the last time? maybe. And I can just tell just by even looking right here, like the leg veins are crazy. Quad veins are crazy. I don't think I've ever been lean enough to have ab veins. I might not, personally. That just might how I am constructed. I just might not have them, which is fine. But maybe in this video I'll put a comparison pictures rather, maybe a video of me at the height of my quote-unquote gymnastics career. Heavy quotes there, heavy quotation marks for sure. And then on the next slide or right next to it, a recent photo or video of me doing similar poses. And you'll see the difference between me at 148 pounds at peak gymnast and me at, roughly around probably 180 is probably what I'll put the video up, or maybe today or what, I don't know, whatever video I take. So anywhere from 148 pounds to 170 pounds. And you're like, wow, that's not a big difference. And then you think about it, you're like, holy shit, that's 20 pounds different, right? And I am almost wanting to say that me and at 148 pounds, 150 pounds is not as lean as me at 170 pounds. And I'm not even there yet. I'm not even at 170. I'm at 176 right now. So even right now at 176, I think I'm more vascular and leaner than I was at peak athlete Christian, right? Than bodybuilder Christian, right? It's two completely different people. And I think that's really cool, because if I can say, hey, I put on 20 pounds of muscle, right? And I don't know whether or not that's true. I'm just saying, look at the difference. If I put on 20 pounds of muscle, that's a lot of work to do in 3 years with only, 2 years of legitimate, actual smart training. I think that's pretty good. And you think, dang, at the top of the bulk, I was almost 50 pounds heavier than I was when I started this. That's a big difference, and I'm pretty proud of that figure, especially with how different I look. I mean, look at the difference between my legs, my chest especially, and my back, and compare it to now. And I keep in mind, I was a pommel horse specialist, right? Who very occasionally did rings, and it hurt to do rings because I have a torn labrum, and I've torn labrum. I've injured tendons in my shoulders. I've broken or chipped rather my shoulder bones before. Bicep tendinosis. I had a bunch of stuff, right? So I don't like doing rings because it hurts every time I do it, even though my planche on it was fantastic and I can still do them. Even at 195 pounds, I could still do a straight planche. On the floor, mind you. I think it's harder on the floor than it is on the rings, but that's neither here nor there. Back on track. But I was a pommel horse specialist, and I could do some pretty good skills on a horse. A lot of C's, a lot of D's, a lot of E's. 1 E. I can only do 1 E, but fair enough. And my shoulder strength is definitely my strongest point at the time. I was definitely stronger in my shoulders than anywhere else. My back was pretty strong too. My chest strong in certain positions, but overall was not that strong of a person. I was a gymnast. Gymnasts aren't... This is going to be very controversial, what I'm about to say. Gymnasts are not very strong. I think people have a misconception of how strong gymnasts are. Gymnasts are very strong for their body weight. Okay? A gymnast is going to be able to kick your ass on 99% of body weight exercises and aerobics. They're going to be able to destroy you. Now, endurance cardiovascular events, a gymnast will fail every single time. Gymnasts can't run, I promise you that. Every gymnast either is injured or are hurting or they don't run, right? But when it comes to like plyometrics or, you know, high intensity interval training, a gymnast is going to kick your ass every single time. I promise you that. The second you tell a gymnast to get under a barbell, then everything falls apart because that's not what they train for, right? Now, not to get into it, but I think gymnasts could benefit from some weight training, and a lot of collegiate programs do, but there are still some collegiate programs out there that refuse to do a proper weight training, and it's ridiculous and it's stupid, but that's a paper that's being written for the 4th revision now, so that'll be later. But the point I'm making is the difference between my physique as a gymnast and my physique now is a complete night and day transformation. And for me, that was my goal 3 years ago when I set out on this, right? About 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, was, hey, I'm going to, I said to myself, I'm tired of being so small. I'm tired of being small. I want to look bigger. And I was sick and tired of looking small. And there's other reasons for that I'm not going to go into just quite yet. Maybe if I have a huge following, right? Or maybe I find it important to address it, I will. But the main reason was because I felt small and I didn't want to feel small anymore. So I went to the gym. And for the first year, I was lifting, I was deadlifting, I was benching, you know, trying to do all the normal gym stuff that you see everybody else do, but I didn't know how to train. So for the first year, I basically took what I've learned from gymnastics training and applied it to weight training. And that worked for a little bit, and I was seeing some results, but I wasn't eating enough, I wasn't working out necessarily the greatest way, so gains took a very long time to come. And eventually I worked myself up to like 175 pounds, maybe a year and a half ago. And I said, look, I'm gonna actually take some time, research, and make the push. And I kind of did like, I don't want to say body recomp because I hate that word, but kind of took like a little pause because I had some other training stuff going on with like flight school and stuff like that, and then finishing up college, right, at junior year. So I was doing that, and then after that I made the push for a very heavy bulk, you know, to push all the way to 195. 195 was my top. I think it might have been 196, but somewhere around there was my top. And once I hit that number, I said, okay, I'm going to go back down now. And I did. I started coming back down, and that's where we are now. So from the two physiques, I am very proud with my progress, and I hope that people are watching this realize, you know, everyone progresses at their own rate. Not everyone progresses at the, of course, the same time, but everybody's progression looks a little different. And just because you see someone else in the gym making gains doesn't mean that you aren't making gains, okay? Let it go for a year, you'll see difference. Go for 2 years, you'll see difference. Go for 3 years, you're gonna see even more difference. And keep looking back, because looking back helps you to realize how far you come, right? If you don't have a starting line to see yourself, it's gonna be really hard. I don't know why this guy's backing up so much. It's gonna be really hard to see how far you've come. So make sure you keep those photos from like a couple of years ago when you started training, or even if you start training now, keep those photos. Look at yourself in 3 months, look at yourself in 9 months, look at yourself in a year and a half, and you're gonna go, wow, I've changed a lot. So I don't know what the point of this car talk was. I completely forgot, but that's okay. It's back day today, not chest day, back day today. I think I said that. So I'm gonna go in, hit a good back workout, and we're almost done cutting.